And look, I know today Monday. I know you probably having a rough day, but let me show you a family that's really having a rough day. Let me show you a family that needs our support. Let me show you a family who needs our voice. Check this out.
Drive right back to see I needed to see because I wanted it to be a mistake. That it wasn't him, that it was someone else, that it was a mistake.
Police say Foster led them on a chase after they tried to pull him over for speeding. The chase ended after police laid down a spike strip, blowing out the car's tires and bringing it to a stop. Foster was then taken into custody. He was then taken to the Pickens County Jail run by Sheriff Todd Hall. Foster died 2 days after his initial arrest. The family says what happened over those 2 days is a mystery.
We don't have any more answers.
And how does that make you feel?
Stuck. You know, it's hard to grieve. It's hard to explain to your children when they're asking you, what happened to daddy? You know, and why would someone want to kill daddy? Because I don't know. That's all I can tell them. I don't know.
And see, never in my life I thought I would reach the point where I don't care about sports anymore. I don't care about football anymore. I love it, but as I get older, I see it's all an illusion. Like Kendrick Lamar said, it's all a game. Literally, they don't care about you. Once they finish with you, they done. And they really give you that slave treatment. Check this out. When a slave on a plantation was no longer considered useful due to age, illness, or injury, they were often left to fend for themselves with minimal provisions, sometimes sold to another plantation for menial tasks, or in most extreme cases, simply abandoned, as the slave owners had little incentive to care for them when they could not contribute to labor. This could also include being separated from their families and sold away to a different plantation. And look, I'm going to keep it real. I think all these companies are in bed together. The NFL owners, all these restaurants, the prisons, the jails, they all on the same team. But we got to get into that later on. In the meantime, let's get to this article. This article is by AP, Associated Press. It was published December the 8th, 2024 at 5:19 a.m. Judge says lawsuit over former NFL player Glenn Foster Jr.'s jail death can proceed. A federal judge ruled that the family of former NFL player Glenn Foster Jr., who died in law enforcement custody in Alabama, can pursue a lawsuit alleging his death was the result of excessive force. Foster, a former New Orleans Saints defensive end, died on December the 6th, 2021, 3 days after being arrested and taken to jail in rural Pickens County for alleged speeding and attempting to elude police. So you telling me they waited 3 years to allow this family to pursue a lawsuit? But like I told y'all in my other videos, these people know what they're doing. They know the first 48 hours of a death is important. That's why they got the show called The First 48. Those first 48 hours are critical. After those first 48 hours, they can come up, they can make up any story they want to. And look, I'm going to keep it real. It's certain places in the country that people don't really care about. And Alabama is one of those places. So that's why they can do this. That's why they can not let the family file a lawsuit. That's why they cannot arrest these cops, because Alabama, just like Louisiana and Texas, it's its own world. They make up their own rules. And I'm gonna tell you something. They lying. They saying he eluded from the police. He was running from the police, and of course he was running. You know why? Why would I stop? And I don't know if it was at nighttime or daytime, but why would I stop in a sundown town with cops, aka slave catchers, behind me? Why would I stop? Of course, I'm gonna drive to the safest area with a lot of people. I'm not gonna stop at some sundown town. I drove trucks for 10 years. If a cop tried to pull me over at night in a sundown town, I'm not stopping, dog. We are going for a ride. A judge ordered Foster taken to a medical facility in Tuscaloosa for a mental evaluation. Foster was found unresponsive in the back of a law enforcement vehicle when he arrived at the facility. He was pronounced dead about 30 minutes later. His widow, Pamela Foster, filed a lawsuit against officers at Pickens County Sheriff's Office and jail, saying Foster had been beaten, shocked with a taser, and strangled while at the jail. The defendants then asked a federal judge to dismiss the case. And see, that judge was in on it, sending him to a medical facility was their cop out. That was their cop out to unalive him and have an excuse for it, make up an excuse for it. You know how many people go to the mental home, go to the psych wards, go to medical facilities, and like by the cops, by judges, and they go missing? It's a lot of people that go through that. They go missing. They never heard from again because a cop has the right, according to them, a police officer has the right to put you in a psych ward if they feel like you need that. And they can unalive you. They can give you crazy medicines. And I'm gonna be real with y'all. Alabama criminal justice system, they are stuck in the 1800s and the early 1900s. And this is why I say that. Between 1877 and 1917, 15 African Americans were hanged by a rope in Pickens County, Alabama, many in the courthouse square. This was the fifth highest number of hangings with ropes in any county in the state at the time. Henry Wells hanged by a rope after a mob forced him outside from the courthouse. A lightning bolt struck the window where he was hiding, leaving an image of his face on the glass. The image is still visible on the courthouse. And see, the judge was in on it. They've been doing this to our people since the 1800s, and they go just tell you 15 because, like I always say, they cannot tell you the real number. So you think they only, hang with a rope 15 people? No, from 1800 to 1917. No, it's way more than that. It's probably was 15 a week, but they'll never tell you that because the number is too disrespectful. It's in their blood, and you would sit back and you would think, dang. Okay, the NFL not saying nothing, but you would think his old teammates would say something. His friends will fight for him. But no, they said nothing. And I'm going to keep it real. A lot of those dudes in the NFL, they are, I can't say the word, but you know what I'm saying. Not all of them, but most of them. And see, I love doing extra research. I love doing more. So I went to Pickens County Jail social media account, and I just wanted to see how did these cops look? What faces they're making, what's the vibe, what's the energy. And this what I saw. Look at these dudes. A picture is worth 1,000 words. Their face says it all. They got the face that say, I want to unalive a black person today. That's what they face say. They even got black people as cops. How are you black in a sundown town? And when I say sundown, I don't care if you have a lot of black people. Because in a lot of these sundown towns, black people not speaking up. They let stuff ride because they scared. And the prison is literally named after a slave owner. His name is Andrew Pickens. Make that make sense. And then I said, wait, I remember Glenn's mother said the NFL had a social justice program. So I said, let me go to Instagram and let me scope out this program. Let me see if they legit, if they really for the people. And just like I expected, nothing. All of it is smoke and mirrors. Yeah, they help people. Yeah, they plant trees and stuff like that. But when it comes to the real justice, when it comes to a jail, a prison, cops, unaliving a football player, unaliving a black man, you see nothing about it. They said nothing about it. How can you be silent? And this man worked for the NFL. This man played in the NFL. But like I said, they'll never speak on real stuff. That's why Kendrick Lamar did what he did at that Super Bowl performance. That's why he had that jail stage. That's why he did all that stuff, because these people will never speak on no real stuff. That's why it's all a game, literally. And like I was saying earlier, when it comes to the NFL and when it comes to prisons, they are all on the same team. Matter of fact, all these companies, all these major companies are tied in with prisons. Check this out. Unmarked trucks packed with prison-raised cattle roll out of the Louisiana State Penitentiary, which is Angola, where men are sentenced to hard labor and forced to work for pennies an hour or sometimes nothing at all. After rumbling down a country road to an auction house, the cows are bought by a local rancher and then followed by the AP another 600 miles to a Texas slaughterhouse, then feeds into the supply chains of giants like McDonald's, Walmart's, and Cargill. And see, it's all a game. All these companies, all these prisons, these football teams, the owners, they all are tied into the prison system. They make money from this. That's how they keep getting richer, because they spend less. Of course, they're going to go to the prisons to get the food because it's cheaper. Imagine losing your husband, your son, your brother, your dad, and they tell you they have no evidence, they have no footage, and it's nothing you can do about it. They waited 3 years to allow this family to pursue a lawsuit. The family had to stand outside Super Bowl week in New Orleans. They had to stand outside and bring awareness themselves. They was passing out flyers, talking to people themselves. They had to bring awareness and justice. Where the NFL was, why the NFL not helping? So, and it's very ironic that the NFL say they got a social justice program, but the family had to be out there themselves passing out flyers. The games they play. So rest in peace to Glenn Foster Jr. and to his family. You are not alone. You have a voice now. I'm out.